Welcome to selfdiscoverymedia.com, where we discover the communities that are making a difference in the lives of others. Our self-discovery is something we are all making on our life's journey. Here you will find the people that will be your guidance, that will be your inspiration, that will be there for you in support on your journey of life. Do enjoy. Our next show is... Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Sarah's View of Life right here on selfdiscoverymedia.com. I'm your host, Sarah Troy. Well, it's Halloween week, isn't it? That spooky time where everybody kind of steps into the fear adrenaline. For some people, it's something really exciting, their favorite time of year, and for others, it's against their religion, or it's just not something that they really like to do. But it's also, to each their own. Of course, it's become very much a capitalistic time of selling costumes and this and that. And I most of the time made my children's clothes. We mixed and matched and put things together and became creative with wigs and makeup, etc. Occasionally had to buy something, but tried not to. But whatever your bag is, if you enjoy it, then enjoy it. But there's just a few points out there. We are still in the pandemic, so, like if you are going trick-or-treating or whatever, stay a little distance, hand out candies that are definitely wrapped, wear a mask when you're handing them out. If you're having a party, keep the numbers down, be sensible. Don't just do it with people that are vaccinated, we really don't want this pandemic to carry on. We're so sick and tired of it. But you can have fun elsewhere. I'm from England. We didn't have Halloween. What we did have was Guy Fawkes Night, who was a distant relative of mine, where they burnt a big fire in the common grounds in your local community, and we toasted hot dogs and kind of just partied around it or sang or whatever. And that was the extent of it. Halloween was something new to me when I first came to this country, Canada, North America. It's very much a big thing. Of course, Mexico, the Day of the Dead, it's a slightly different celebration. This is all about kind of the spookiness. So obviously on the TV right now, you've got every frightening thriller, movie, horror, and everything else out there because some people eat it up. And that's okay, whatever your adrenaline is. But there's one warning I'd like to put out there, maybe more than one. One of them is fireworks. They can cause fires. Two, well, actually three, that there's a big, huge thing here. I'm going to read it. It's actually a posting that was put up, and I think it's actually something that we really need to look at if I can find it. But it was talking about the statistics of, I'm sorry, I can't find it, but how it affects the bees, how it affects the animals. Oh my God, we had a border collie, and when fireworks went off, she would go into a corner somewhere, frothing at the mouth out of fear. And you can't tell them to snap out of it, folks. They're terrified. Cats are terrified. Children are terrified. And people with post-traumatic stress, our veterans, that bang, 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 bang. Let's be thoughtful of that. That can take them right back to the front where they just don't want to be. So I know you love your fireworks. I think it was Scotland that did an absolutely beautiful quote firework display out of drones. It was magnificent. And there are silent fireworks you can do now. And I know you're saying, but I like the sounds. Yeah. If you're doing it somewhere where it's away from civilization and animals, then yes, but the bees are probably there, and you've got critters and animals that are around. The fireworks that land in the sea, it gets caught up with the fish and it has an effect there. I know it's a thrill, folks, but sometimes we have to look at the effect that it has on other people and on other species and go, is that moment of thrill worth, the repercussions that is out there? There's other ways of having fun, laser lights, all sorts of things. We can do it in other ways. So, have fun dressing up, have fun having a party safely, please. As I said, we don't want to see any spikes after Halloween. We want the kids to dress up and have fun, whether it's even just a party at home or just a few local houses that in your neighborhood. Some schools, of course, do it and the kids come to school all dressed up. And of course, there are some religions that just are not into it because it's paganism, and respect that as well. Don't tease a kid because they're not wearing a costume. You don't know what the story is behind it, and maybe they can't even afford one. So it's a little empathy and compassion out there, folks. 3 years ago, my daughter and son-in-law got married, but the night before they had a Halloween party. He went as Kermit the Frog, and he wore a long green leotard right up to the head, and it just really rocked it confidently. And she went as Miss Piggy, and we had a whale of a time. No fireworks. We just had fun, karaoke and this and that, everybody in their costume. The next day we went into the weddings. It was truly a wonderful weekend. We can always find fun, folks. There's always ways of finding joy. There's always ways of kind of dressing up and just having some exuberance. We can do this, but let us be mindful of the effects that it has on other people. Even beyond Halloween and fireworks, everything else is just have your fun, but make sure somebody else isn't suffering for it, okay? And that just being mindful, and maybe you have to change the way you have your fun or how loud you're going to get. You're taking the fun out of everything. I know, I'm sorry. But at the same time, do you want a veteran to be reliving the trauma? Do you want our bees to be so traumatic they can't produce honey or pollinate anything else that we desperately need? Do we want the children to be scared? Do we want our animals to be shivering and shaking, and some literally have heart attacks out of this, firework sound? I remember when my daughter was young, our house had virtually burnt down. I'm there at the house at Halloween to do the candy, although it was empty. They were rebuilding. And somebody else took her out, and some kids let off a firework, and it landed on her hand. The last thing she needed as a little girl after her house had burnt down was to have fire hand, right? So yeah, it's fun, but at the same time, be mindful. There are so many ways to have fun. As I said, I loved just exploring with my kids the costumes they had. They always had a big tub of costumes, clothes and things, because they were always putting on plays, and they would dress up and they would have fun with it. So it was about the imagination, the makeup, or maybe they needed an accessory, but how they could create something and then bring it to life. So have a good Halloween. Have a safe Halloween, have a conscientious Halloween. And remember, it really isn't so much about the adults as it is about the kids. And we can still give kids a great deal of joy because they can be very joyful, very, very easy. So folks, happy Halloween. And let's see what November is going to bring us. Hopefully, we're in the winter and some places don't have those seasons. But, November is a time for kind of cocooning a little bit, snuggling a little bit, kind of being at home and not so distracted and getting some things done. I know that's on my agenda this November. So let's embrace that November and see what we can make it. All right. So until next week, folks, happy Halloween. Safe out there for everyone. Bye for now. We hope that you enjoyed the show. You will hear many, many shows here on selfdiscoverymedia.com. We have new shows for you out every week. Just find them on our podcast or What's New. If you feel that you have something to share that makes a difference in the lives of others, or you too feel that you could be a host, please contact me at info@selfdiscoverymedia.com, and we will be glad to speak with you. Have a wonderful day.